Welcome, dear student friends. I, Professor G.S. Mahalle, welcome you all in this video lecture. Students, up to now we have discussed properties of fluid, viscosity. Viscosity is one of the property, but it is a major portion of our syllabus. Then after that we have started surface tension, then capillarity. In today's lecture, we will be discussing pressure. It means we have to discuss actually Pascal's law and hydrostatic law. But before discussing Pascal's and hydrostatic law, we must understand the concept of pressure. Most of the students get confused while calculating absolute pressure, atmospheric pressure, gauge pressure, vacuum pressure. So the confusion of all the students will get cleared after carefully watching this lecture. So without wasting any time, let me start the lecture. This is our lecture number 8. Lecture number 8. Okay. This is our lecture number 8. What we have to learn in this lecture? Pressure. So let me write the topic. So let me draw a concept of pressure. Just a minute. Let me draw a pressure carefully. See here. Is it clear to you? This is the, with red pen I will draw, this is the absolute zero pressure. This is what? Absolute zero pressure. This is absolute zero pressure. And up to certain height, what we will see, what we will say that this is the atmospheric pressure. This line is nothing but atmospheric pressure. Okay. Now see, suppose we have to calculate pressure at a point here. We have to calculate pressure at a point here. So, dear students, we will be having two options. Either we can measure pressure from absolute zero pressure line. Okay, is it clear? Or we can measure pressure from atmospheric pressure line. Is it clear to you? See, dear student friends, I will give one example. This is your absolute zero balance from your account. We all know that there is a minimum, we require to maintain the minimum balance of 1500 in our account. Okay, our means account, saving account, for example. So, the money you are having in account, your account is 2000 rupees. You are having 2000 rupees in your account, but you can only debit 500 rupees. That means your net balance or debitable balance is 500 rupees. Are you getting it? Are you getting it? Yes or no? That means if we measure, that means 1500 rupees is fixed amount. It is what? It is basic line, or from 1500 if we are measuring, we are getting only 500, or from zero line we are measuring, we are getting 2000 rupees. I think you might have understood this. Okay. If I have to calculate gauge pressure, then gauge pressure I have to measure it only from the, yes, I have to measure it from the atmospheric pressure line. I have to measure gauge pressure from the atmospheric pressure line. That pressure will be only gauge pressure. But if I am measuring the pressure from the absolute zero pressure line, then it will be what? It will be what? Absolute pressure. It will be what? Absolute pressure. Let me explain it with the formulas. Formula कसा बदलायचा बघा. इथे लिहितो मी absolute pressure is equals to atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. Now I think it will be clear to you. If not, you can watch it one more time. You will understand what is exactly. P absolute is equals to P atmospheric plus P gauge. Now this is about the gauge pressure. Suppose if there is a vacuum pressure, for example, this is the point. At this point we have to measure the pressure. Also, like this point, point A, point B, at point B, there is also two methods for measuring the pressure. One method is that we can measure the pressure from the absolute zero pressure line, or we can measure the pressure from atmospheric pressure line. There is two methods. There is two methods for pressure measurement. But if we are measuring pressure from absolute zero pressure line, we call it as a absolute pressure. We call it as a absolute pressure. Absolute pressure. But if we measure it from the atmospheric pressure line, we call it as what? We call it as vacuum. We call it as vacuum. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you, dear students? Are you getting it or not? So, without wasting time, let me write the formula for this vacuum pressure. So, vacuum pressure चा formula काय होईल? Yes, vacuum pressure चा formula काय होऊ शकतो बघा? बघा, हा पॉइंट आहे तो. आपल्याला व्हॅक्यूम प्रेशर काढायचं असेल तर आपण काय काढू? ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर. यस, ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर मायनस व्हॅक्यूम प्रेशर. समजतंय का तुम्हाला? लेट मी राईट ऍब्सोल्यूट प्रेशर इज इक्वल्स टू ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर मायनस व्हॅक्यूम प्रेशर. बघा, ऍब्सोल्यूट प्रेशर म्हणजे हे एवढं. हे किती असेल? ऍटमॉस्फेरिक प्रेशर मायनस व्हॅक्यूम प्रेशर. गेज मध्ये काय असेल? गेज प्रेशर इज इक्वल्स टू atmospheric pressure plus gauge pressure. Is it clear? These two formulas are very important. The students which have understand, or the students have understood from the diagram, that is very good for them. But those students who have not understood from this diagram, they should remember these formulas. But how these formulas have been generated, how this problem have been obtained? So problem have been obtained by using this diagram. So you must carefully watch it 2, 3 or 5 times to get this concept, because this concept is very important. I will not revise it again, because you can see it in revision. You can see a video 2, 3, 5 times. So let me start the new topic, otherwise our video will be lengthy. Okay. So dear students, we will start the very important law, that is Pascal's law. The statement of Pascal's law, you can see the statement of Pascal's law here. It says that pressure intensity at a point in a static fluid is equal in all directions. Pressure intensity at a point in a static fluid is uniform in all directions. So what does it mean? It means, see here, see, if suppose there is a beaker in which water is present, okay, and if I have to calculate the pressure intensity at any point inside the water, suppose this point A. The pressure intensity at point A will be uniform in all directions. Pressure intensity at point A will be uniform in all directions. Is it clear to you? Okay, let me explain this topic with a simple derivation. We will take a simple derivation, and this derivation is very important, dear students. It has been asked for 7 marks in various exams. Various examples in university exams. So we will discuss Pascal's law. To study this law, we have to draw a diagram. Let us consider a triangular element. Now see students, we have considered a triangular element. A triangular or wedge-shaped element. This element is actually, let me draw a 3D. It is actually a part of the liquid. A liquid is present everywhere inside this. We can say about this fluid element, and we have considered a triangular element of this fluid element. Why triangular or why wedge shape? Because we have to discuss a 3 dimension, that is px, py and pz. That's why we have considered a triangular element, or we can say a wedge shape. Wedge shape actually it is like this. This is like this. Okay, but we will take its cross section perpendicular to this entity is unity. That means we will take its width as unity. Are you getting this? Or we can say a thickness is unity. Now we call this as a dx, we call this as a dy, and we call this as a ds. So we have given the names to the sides. This side or distance is dx, this distance is dy, this distance is ds. And dear student, this angle is theta. This angle is theta. Now we all know that there are forces acting on this fluid element. So forces along x-axis we call, or pressure force along x-axis we call it as a px. Along y-axis we call it as a py. Along z-axis, that is z-axis means we cannot draw actually z-axis. Z-axis is nothing but perpendicular to this board. Is it clear? That is dz. dz, pz. Now dear students, we will take equilibrium condition, and at equilibrium condition we will consider summation of forces in x direction and y direction are 0, because we know that at equilibrium condition this summation of forces is always 0. So we have to resolve these forces. We can say at equilibrium summation of f of x equals to 0. So we will take summation of f of x. But this is not, this component, this force is not x in x direction or y direction. We have to resolve this force actually. Yes or no? We have to resolve this force. That is pz and pz something. So how to resolve this force actually? Let us discuss first. To resolve this force, we have studied one formula or one concept in previous lecture actually. That is what the angle between two lines and two normals or two perpendiculars is equal. Now angle between these lines, let me draw with the red pen. Angle between these lines and these perpendiculars will be same. So this is theta, that means this will also be a theta. That means what? This is also be a theta. As it is theta, this is the pz cos theta and this is pz sin theta. Is it clear to you? Is it clear to you, dear students? And let me write it clearly. This is ds. This side is ds. Okay. This side is dx and this side is dy. Now we can do the summation of forces in x direction as well as in y direction, because we have resolved the forces and we have considered it. Also, see dear students, also we can consider one more force, that is the weight of this fluid element. Weight of the fluid element, but as this fluid element having, we can say, thickness as unity, it's actually having a weight very negligible. So we neglect its weight. Now see, summation of f of x equals to 0. So we will take pressure force in the x direction. So pressure force in the x direction, that force minus force in the z direction, z horizontal force. Is it clear to you? Okay. Zx we can say is equals to 0. Equals to 0. So what is force in the x direction? Px. Yes, px into area. Force is nothing but pressure into area. याचा area किती होईल? याचा area dy into 1, because we have taken thickness as unity. So I will write down here px dy into 1. Is it okay? Minus pz cos theta into what? Into ds into 1 equals to 0. Into ds into 1 equals to 0. Now how we can write it like this? Px equals to px dy equals to pz cos theta ds. Is it clear to you? Now there is this term cos theta. So dear students, we have studied in trigonometry theta. Cos theta means what? Adjacent upon hypotenuse. Let me write here. Cos theta is equals to what? Adjacent side upon hypotenuse. Adjacent side upon hypotenuse. My adjacent side कोणती आहे cos theta ची? theta ची adjacent कोणती आहे? dy. आणि hypotenuse काय आहे? Hypotenuse काय आहे? ds. Is it clear? Is it clear, students? So instead of cos theta, what I can write here? Instead of cos theta, I can write dy upon ds. So I will write here the value of cos theta in this equation, and what is its value? Dy upon ds. So it will be like this: px dy equals to pz. Yes, instead of cos theta, what I will write? Dy upon ds and into ds. This ds will get cancelled, and what we can say? Px dy equals to pz dy. Have understood this, dear students? Dy is cancelled. That means px. That means px equals to py. That is the 50% of the derivation is completed here. Px equals to py. Now that means what we can comment up to here now? Px equals to py. You remember this, or you call it as equation number 1, because we have to rub the board now and we have to take the summation of forces in y direction. So this equation is px equals to py. Is it clear to you, dear students? Now what we will consider? Summation of forces in y direction is also 0. As we have taken summation of forces in x direction is 0. Similarly, summation of forces in y direction is also 0. And what are the forces coming in y direction? The force number 1, that is the force due to pressure force due to this component, y component, minus this is coming downward, that means force due to z component in y direction, equals to 0. So let's derive it. Fy means py into dx into 1, because we have considered a unit dimension in this we can say this direction, or we can say thickness is unity, equals to, we directly come to this equation. Or if you get difficulty while understanding this, let me make it more simple. Fzy means what? This component, the component of force in z direction, but the y component of force pressure in z direction, that is Fzy. It is nothing but pz sin theta. It is nothing but pz sin theta into ds into 1 equals to 0. Is it clear now? That means what? Py into dx equals to pz into sin theta into ds. Now, dear students, we have calculated cos theta here. Similarly, we can calculate sin theta, because we know trigonometry. Sin theta means what? This is, see here, whatever I have written with red ink, this is the prerequisite. As I told you already, that to understand any topic, there is only one problem. The problem is that our prerequisite is not clear. So those students are not having the background of trigonometry, cos theta, sin theta. It is for that student only. But the students which are having the sufficient knowledge of trigonometry, the student, it is just like a revision for them. Okay. So sin theta is equals to what? Sin theta is equals to opposite upon hypotenuse. Sin theta is equals to opposite upon hypotenuse. Opposite side upon hypotenuse. Opposite side is what? Opposite side is dx, and hypotenuse is what? Hypotenuse is ds. Is it clear now? Opposite side is dx and hypotenuse is ds. That means what? What does it mean? Instead of sin theta, we can write this term. So what is sin theta? Let me circle the sin theta first. Now we will solve it. What is here? Py into dx equals to pz. Instead of sin theta, what can I write? Dx upon ds. Dx upon ds into ds. So dear students, what will happen here? ds will get cancelled, and we can say that py into dx equals to pz into dx. Yes, so dx will get cancelled. What we can say? Py equals to pz. Now students, if you recall this equation number 2, if you recall equation number 1 which we have derived just before this derivation, so equation number 1 was py equals to px. Is it visible you from the board? I think it is not visible. I will write here. Equation 1, what equation 1 says? Equation 1 says Py equals to Px. This was the equation 1 and this is the equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2 what we can say? From equation 1 and 2 what we can say? We can say that Px equals to Py equals to Pz. That means pressure intensity at a point in a fluid is uniform in all directions. Pressure intensity in a static fluid at a point is uniform in all directions. Static word is very important because this is the concept of fluid static. Now, let me explain clearly, dear students, what does it exactly meaning and how it is applicable in our daily life or in the engineering life. See, pressure intensity of a static fluid at a point is uniform in all directions. What does it mean? It means a pressure, suppose pressure at a point here is uniform in all directions. It has a wide application, dear students. Wide application like JCB, we all know JCB, earth movers. See here, it has application in hydraulics. In hydraulics or in pneumatics, Pascal's law is very much useful. We can say, let's take example of hydraulic braking system. Hydraulic braking system has application of Pascal's law. Hydraulic press in industry is application of Pascal's law. Pascal's law is not a small, we can say just a small derivation or a small statement. It has the wide industrial applications. If you study it clearly, you will understand each and every point about Pascal's law. So up to now we have discussed Pascal's law clearly. Now in next lecture we will discuss hydrostatic law and problems on Pascal's and hydrostatic law. Is it clear to you? Okay, so we will end this video here. Thank you very much.